What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Madridista channel. Today, Real Madrid played against Juventus. So let's review the match. Carlo Ancelotti announced a long time ago this month that he will be focusing this match on getting the team, the chemistry of the team back together. He said he will play the same lineup that he played in Champions League, and we played the same lineup that played in the Champions League final against Liverpool, against Manchester City, and blah blah blah. And it was the same lineup: Courtois, Carvajal, Alaba, Militao, Mendy, Casemiro, Modric, Cruz, Benzema, Vinicius, and Valverde on the right wing. And Ancelotti expressed his desire to test out this lineup and that he will use the same lineup for the European Super Cup match against Frankfurt. So it was a decent start. It was the same kind of start that we did against PSG that got us our third goal. It was a really lightning start, but Valverde was offside, so the goal was ruled out. It was a really nicely maneuvered technique and really nicely done by everyone, and so that was a really nice way to start the game. The crowd was on its feet. It was a 90,000 a full house match, so it was interesting to see the game from that perspective, that Real Madrid weren't really taking it as laxly that we have been taking it. We have been taking it a real easy in the other friendly matches that we played in the preseason, but in this match we could see the intensity was higher because it was a trial run for the match that we will be playing against Frankfurt. So the players needed to get their intensity higher. They needed to press much higher. They pressed well, and we didn't really give Juventus enough chances, enough to trouble us that much. There were some instances where Juventus got some of their chances in front of our goal, but we dealt with it well enough. So in the first half, the most of the attacks went through Benzema as always. Vinicius isn't yet reaching the heights that he reached last season. He will have a little bit of slow start after the vacation, after the time off and everything. So he will need to get into his rhythm little by little, but I am looking forward to a really great season for Vinicius this season too. And Benzema, he has just picked up from where he left off. It was like he didn't get into vacation. He's still in his Ballon d'Or mode, and the sharpness that Benzema shows it's just amazing to see. It's just amazing to see. And Vinicius got our penalty, as he is the danger man when he is around the penalty box. Danilo, former Real Madrid player, barged into him from the behind, barged into Vinicius's leg because he was getting into position to take the shot, and the referee blew the whistle for the penalty. And Benzema, as cool as always, slotted the penalty into the net, and we were 1-0 up. From there we took it a little bit easier. From there eased up our pressure and preserved the lead until the first half. After that, the same team came out, bar Rudiger came out for Militao, I think. After the first half, the team was still into their second or third gear, slowly getting into the game. And after the 63rd minute, Ancelotti made 9 changes. The whole team was changed, bar who wasn't changed, bar Courtois. And so came in Lucas Vazquez for Carvajal. In came Nacho for Alaba, and I was a little surprised to see Vallejo on the left back role. He came in for Mendy, Modric, Cruz, Casemiro was replaced by Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Ceballos on the right wing. There was Asensio. For Benzema came in Rodrigo, and for Vinicius came in Hazard. So it was a totally different team, but the pace and the kind of technique in the midfield, that the high level of midfield play that we saw, Tchouaméni is so calm under pressure, getting out of those tight situations, tight positions when he is being pressed by the other team, the kind of decision making he is doing, the kind of 1-2 playing and dribbling his way out of the press. It was really nice to see. And Kamavinga, he is just a special player. He shows such high level of technique, such high level of IQ that it's really rare to see in such a 19-year-old kid. He's still a 19-year-old, but his physique and his IQ, coupled with his technique, with his footwork and his creativity, it just makes him a total package. With Tchouaméni, with Kamavinga, our midfield depth is just magnificent. So whenever Modric and Kroos needs rest this season, we can give them rest without noticing much difference in the quality, because the quality in midfield, in our midfield is I would say without any competition in European football right now. Our midfield, I think, in depth wise, in quality wise, is the best in the world. I don't think there is another midfield in the world right now that can match in the quality and depth department for our midfield. And into the attack, Hazard, Vallejo, Asensio played a nice bit of combination. The Hazard is getting a little bit of, we can see a little bit of more quality coming out of Hazard now. He is playing with more freedom. I think the kind of fear that he had in his brain, the kind of he was hesitant to go to his full gear. He was hesitant to go. I think he was a little bit of afraid to get injured again. When you have been suffering from niggling injuries and setbacks all the time, it happens. And so I think what he said at the end of last season and what he's been saying in the press, that he feels more confident, he feels mentally more ready, and he wants to give back to the fans, to the club, for the faith and for the patience that the club has been showing him, because to be honest, he hasn't done anything for the last 3 seasons since we bought him. He hasn't really participated or contributed to much to the silverwares that we have been winning. So he has committed, he has realtored that his commitment to the club and that commitment to the fans, that he will we will see a better version and much better version of Hazard this year. So hopefully he can get his confidence back up little by little, because we can see little snippets of the old Hazard coming back. His passes are more confident. He is playing 1-2 with the other players much better, and from their combination play and the nice little cutback that Vallejo did, it was really good. Vallejo has been becoming a reliable player. He isn't making any mistakes. He is doing his job well. So there is nothing much you can ask from a fourth choice backup center half. He is a reliable player, and he played a really nice pass, a nice cross, low cross or cutback, and Asensio arrived into the box and slotted into the net, and we went 2-0 up. From there, it was a really slow rhythmic match. Real Madrid had the major part of the possession. We had 58% possession, and Juventus had 42% possession. Juventus played much of their strong team. Vlahovic was playing, and Bonucci was playing. There was Bremer, Perin, and most of their starters were playing, and they are going through an overhaul anyway. most of their midfield are getting sold, contracts being terminated. So they are just getting their squad roster more fresh. They need the more fresher approach, because the players that were there were on high wages with not much contribution, so they needed to make it a bit fresh. So they will struggle in their league a little bit, but I think they can be in the top three. I think the top four in Italy this season will be all Roma will have some thing to say, Napoli will have something to say, but I think right now Inter Milan has added some really added really well into their roster with Lukaku, with from Roma, what was his name, the Arsenal player, Mkhitaryan. So I think they added a little bit of depth. They still want to sell Skriniar to PSG to recoup some money, but PSG has a valuation that they don't want to go upwards of, so that deal is stalling. So I don't know if they sell Skriniar, they will need replacement for them, and their replacement was bought by Juventus, who is Bremer. They bought him from Torino for 40 million plus, and so it was a really entertaining, nice match to watch. Our next match is of course against Frankfurt on August 10th for the European Super Cup, and I'm feeling confident that we will be having a really productive. Then Ancelotti has said that the players after getting back to Madrid will get 3 days rest, and the next week will be after that the next week will be used for the preparation for the European Super Cup match, and of course the pre-season training will keep going on with Pintas. And so I'm optimistic. And about the transfer business, there have been reports that Werner has been offered to Real Madrid, but Werner's representative has made it clear that Werner wants to be a starter. He wants to be ready for the upcoming World Cup in Qatar, and Real Madrid won't be giving Werner a starting position. Real Madrid is making it clear whoever they want to buy, they will have to accept a bench role, and they will have to be content with a substitute role for Benzema. We have heard some rumors about Werner, some rumors I'm hearing. We are hearing about Ryan Cherky from Leo, and some Real Madrid fans are really high on the Benjamin Sesko from RB Salzburg. There is still from Amin Ghouri from Nice. So there are some names that circulating in the social media world of Real Madrid, and so the fans are really expecting something to be done in the next month before the transfer window closes. I am not sure that the club will do something, because it looks like there isn't any kind of interest in Asensio, so he will most likely stay, and Mariano is digging his heels in. He doesn't want to leave. Whatever you give him, he just wants to stay here, pick up his paychecks, and it's within his rights, because we gave him that contract, so he is in his rights to stay here and just collect his paycheck. So we cannot do anything about that. If he doesn't move voluntarily, he will stay. And from what we have seen from the board so far, they have been saying that if there are no outgoings, they won't go into the market again. So that's about our transfer strategy or our transfer business so far. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Kindly like and subscribe. See you in the next video.